Gather around, y'all people, let me tell you all a story of something I once loved when I was a child. It's a series of books that features a bunch of little feline creatures, and they live out there in the great old English wild. And it's all about cats, and they hunt and fight and spat, and they don't know words for things like people and cars. Now Jaron, Mitchell, and Toasty, your creators and co-hosties, are gonna tell you all about it, and then we can all be stars. They're gonna tell you all about it, and then we can all be stars. Far over the Mothermouth Mountains wet, there lies a clan of asshole kidnapper cats.
Whoa.
What? I'm sorry, that's what I got from this book.
I don't know.
You didn't let me get to 60 seconds. We're not going to get copyrighted.
Oh, no.
That's my
sorry.
my goal.
I don't
What's
know.
up, dirtheads?
I don't know if calling the tribe with their own unique culture that's being attacked by a fucking mountain lion and is desperate for anything to save them asshole cats is the right move here, but you know what?
Sorry, I was singing from Crowpaw's perspective.
Oh,
does that clear it up?
Crowpaw. Okay. No,
Yeah,
this is
Crowpaw's
fine.
actually got a beautiful voice.
You're allowed to be problematic if you're playing a character.
Yeah, he just went through a bunch of trauma too, so he's just dealing with some stuff right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is Crowpaw on the way back down from the mountain, and Stormfur is just like, dude, shut up!
He's composing
My sister
ballads.
died.
He's writing
Oh,
odes.
spoilers.
Sorry, spoilers for Warriors Series 2, Book 2, Moonrise.
Yo, that sounds like an interesting book. Do you think we should talk about it?
We should talk about it.
Nah.
And our names should be Jaron D Ratman, he, him.
Toasty Valentine, he, him.
Mitchell, Crispi, they, them.
You guys, we need to decide on a set order because this always
Well, we
happens.
count in one order and then we introduce
That's-
ourselves in a
you're
different
right,
order.
that's
So
so
I don't.
stupid.
I
don't
introduce
remember.
myself, and then there's a long silence. And then
We should do it the same order we count. That's so funny.
Okay, so I'll say. Okay, so I start 1.
Mitchell, Crispi,
7.
What are your pronouns?
they. Mitchell, Crispi, they, them.
Moonrise.
Moonrise. It's been
Warrior
a while. It's been a while, everybody. We're getting back into the swing
been
of
a
it.
while.
I feel like every time we record, we're like, it's been 30 years. We don't know who we are. We don't know what these
30
books
years.
are.
We don't know our names. We don't know our order. We don't know what book we just read.
You can't expect us to remember these 4 basic facts for the only passion project that I have going on. Are we gonna call our fans the Star Clan?
The Star Clan. I did pitch that idea because we are the stars in the making, and then my idea is that like our listeners are our warrior ancestors because they're people who have read these books already. They've played these games before.
They know all the shortcuts and the cheat codes.
Yeah, they know the skip to Sundrown Place.
I
2-leg place skip.
I put forth, and I guess this can be our poll this week. First poll that actually matters. I put forth we should call you
in all the other polls.
We should call you guys.
I think we're the only people who voted those.
I don't vote in them. I'm biased. I put them together. Audience, I put the polls together without asking Jaron or Toasty what the poll should be every week, just for fun. It's my little treat.
Yeah.
I put forth that we should call you all, the fans, the listeners, the flan, because you're the fan clan. So let us know what you think. Maybe
Flan.
by the time the poll goes up, Toasty will have an idea of what they think we should.
I'm
call
like,
them.
I have no horse in this race.
Okay, we're gonna call you guys the horses in the race.
Yeah, you're the horses.
Horse Clan.
You're the horses. Horse clan.
What's
You guys
up,
are the
Horse
weird
Clan?
long dogs.
Well, anyway, this is our review of Warrior Series 2, Book 2. This is the new prophecy. This is Moonrise. For the first, 7 or 8 chapters of this book, not a lot goes on.
That's so true.
There's half of the story is cats climbing a mountain, which is scary and also kind of funny to think about house cats climbing up like Mount Everest.
It's very atmospheric, but it's not a lot happens.
It's really tense and cool, but it's nothing of note really progresses. And then the Leaf Paw side of the story doesn't progress until the end of the book.
Yeah, Leafpaw just kind of like is nervous the whole book.
Yeah.
Leafpaw bounces around and talks to her potentially evil girlfriend and her definitely evil brother.
My question is, how tall is the mountain actually? Because it'd be so funny if this was just like a hill that they're struggling to get up.
I mean, so many. You're bringing up a lot of questions that I was having, because they seem to describe the mountain as like mostly pure rock.
There's like rocky crags and stuff. You
gotta find very specific types of mountains to find mostly rock on the mountains. Like
it's actually just a pile of gravel they're struggling to
big pile
to
of
climb
gravel.
up.
They're on a stratovolcano.
Yeah,
this is going to have problems in the future.
I live in Los Angeles and I've been to Joshua Tree National Park plenty of times, and that's got like mountains that are all entirely rock. And I was just having a great time imagining these cats doing what I've done plenty of times, scrambling up rocks. But for them to be like surrounded by gray rock, they've either got to be super high or in very specific mountains, I guess. And there's no people up there. Like, it doesn't seem like the tribe of Rushing Water, who they meet in the mountains, knows who Two Legs are. So it's got to be kind of remote, I guess.
Yeah, they're the only like other creatures they really deal with are like eagles and mountain lions. There aren't like other cats, there aren't like dogs, there aren't like foxes or badgers like we have in the forest, and there aren't Two Legs like we have in
the real world.
You know, down at the base of the mountain. In the real world, yeah. This place is full of Two Legs. I deal with Two Legs every day. I'm so leaf paw coated in the way that I am scared of what the Two Legs are doing in my day-to-day life.
So true.
I think the only thing of note that happens in the beginning for me is that they come away from the sun-drowned place. They find Purdy again. Everybody's like, oh, we're so excited to go home and save the clan. They confront some foxes. Midnight speaks fox to save them. That's pretty cool. Not very important.
God, I forgot that happened. I read that like a month and a half ago.
Exactly.
I read that 3 days ago.
I re-listened to it yesterday and today. And Purdy's like, come back through Two Leg Place, and Midnight's like, no, go straight towards the sun, towards the mountains. And they're all like, that seems difficult. And Midnight's like, no, it's gonna be fine. And Purdy's like, what about and Midnight's like, shut the fuck up, you old man. And for the first time, I was like, Midnight, maybe we don't trust Midnight that much. I mean, like, I know there's the whole cliche of like people who have like the prophecies can't tell everybody everything, but I was like, I feel like that's big information. Because if
Purdy had been like, what about the scary kidnapper cats and the mountain lion? And then they were like, well, we're not going there.
They would have come in with xenophobic ideas instead of an open mind.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's one of those like Greek tragedy type things where if they had tried to go the other way, some bullshit would have happened anyways.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those unavoidable type deals.
Yeah. Well, it's just so tragic to me because it ends up being in the roundabout long way the cause of the death of one of our characters and one of the four who actually got the vision, which is crazy to me. I did not expect that at all.
I was like emotionally devastated because for some reason I didn't expect any of the prophesized cats to die. I was like, that'll never happen.
I didn't expect any of them to die.
This book has kind of like an existentially devastating ending for, first of all, our focal character for this book is Stormfur, which is different from the last book where we were following Brambleclaw, which is also really interesting. Was that an ich for Stormfur or an ich for Brambleclaw?
It's an ich for Stormfur. I kind of don't like this kid.
Ooh.
We'll get into it, but what were you talking about, existentialism?
But just like the fact that this book, one of the major conflicts for Stormfur is like, if I am the only one with the power to save these people, even though I don't know them, but I also like have other people waiting for me. Is it the correct move to ignore these people who need my help to go to my own? Or should I, it's kind of the Spider-Man, like, great responsibility dilemma. And he ends up choosing that responsibility and then finding out that it wasn't his in the first place, which is, like, kind of depressing.
It's very depressing.
Yeah.
And, like,
He's kind of a sad character in this book.
Yeah.
Very sad. That's one of the reasons. I mean, he spends a lot of time being a little bit unwary. I guess you could say, like, lightly depressed. Like, he's not that dour, but he is dour a lot of the time. But then the reason that, like, I just kind of disliked the choice of him, I guess it's not the choice of him, it's the way that they wrote him. I loved Bramblepaw so much because the things that he was dealing with internally were so, like, interesting, classic hero journey stuff, like he was like, can I be a leader, which is a very classic story. We didn't really get that until later in the first series, but, like, that's the entire thing that The Hobbit's about. That's the entire thing that so many fantasy stories are about, is like, what does it mean to, like, take up responsibility and go on a journey like this? And then we get to this book and it's Stormfur, and another reason, like, the first half feels like nothing happens is because it's just like every chapter feels like they're just looking for one place where Stormfur can say, I'm not allowed to have these feelings for Squirrelpaw, and also Crowpaw, get away from my sister. And that's like every chapter they say that once, and that's all he's doing. And I'm just like, dude, just like I just get a little bit annoyed with him because I'm like, these things don't matter at all. I'm really happy for the relationship that blossoms with him and Brooke, but especially in the first half of the book, I'm like, Stormfur is not an interesting protagonist, I don't think.
I think that one of the reasons that I like Stormfur is potentially just, like, looking ahead at what potential stories can be told with him, because he's already, as we know him from Series 1, a character who struggles with where his place in the world is, because he's the son of Greystripe, the deputy of ThunderClan, and the daughter of Silverstream, who is dead. So he's a RiverClan warrior, but he doesn't have a living family member there other than his sister. And now his sister's been called on this great grand quest, and his internal conflict is a little bit, so what's there for me then? Yeah. If, like, my sister's being called to these greater heights, what's there for me? And now, her developing relationship, as all RiverClan cats must have, with a cat outside of RiverClan. Is now, he feels that she's being pulled away even further. I could see some really interesting stories being told with him, just, like, struggling to find a place in the clans and potentially ending up back with the tribe, with Brooke, because he seemed to really, really click and fit in there, where he doesn't really feel like he does in the clans.
I think his eternal problem will be he won't feel like he fits in anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope that he gets over it.
I hope so too, but it felt as much as he fit in with the tribe, he also didn't quite. Like, he was still a bit of a foreigner.
There's a bit when they first meet the tribe where he learns about the way that they share prey, where, like, one cat takes a bite of their piece of prey and then trades it to another cat. They like each take one bite and then trade, and then finish off what the other cat gave them. And then there's a moment near the end of the book when they meet, is it Talon? Talon and the other tribe outcasts. Remembering these tribe characters' names is somehow harder than remembering the clan characters' names.
Yeah, well, they do the classic. Well, they do the really classic, like, characters from a culture that are close to nature in a lot of ways, copying, like, pseudo Native American naming conventions. Like, their names are like,
they're like Talon that swoops from the sky, and like Brook that babbles through the trees, or
Mist that burns in the morning light. And then they're like, well, you can call me Mist. And it's like, okay, so your name's Mist, but you just wanted to be special. Or the writers wanted you to be special.
But anyway, when they meet up with Talon, like, initiates the sharing thing, and Stormfur passes it back. And there's this weird little moment of Talon being like, oh, so your tribe does the sharing thing too. And Stormfur kind of taking pause with that and being like, they don't. But I still did it anyway. That he's, like, kind of absorbed these new ways into himself, and I feel like his journey may end just with him leaving the clans and ending up with the tribe and finding a place there.
Definitely a possibility. I think that...
I mean,
Well, because if
Go ahead,
something
Toasty.
horrible happened to his sister, then he'd have no reason to stay in RiverClan.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, especially with the fact that he loses his sister as well, he's really not going to feel probably much connection to any clan at that point.
They do a
Yeah.
lot in the beginning of this book as well, talking about how, like, their bond is particularly close because, you know, they didn't have a mother or father in the clan, so all they had was each other.
I mean, they both faced off Baby Killer 3000 together, like,
I got
Yeah.
Baby
or
Killer 3000.
almost had to.
I mean, they talk about that in the last book as well, which is, you know, the reason why they're together and why they don't want to separate to go on a journey.
Yeah, important to each other. It's in the Gray Stripe DNA, falling in love outside the clan, I guess. The reason that...
It's in the RiverClan tradition. Because
RiverClan tradition.
Oakheart, and then Silverstream, and now both Feathertail and Stormfur.
They're just so carefree. They just like live their life by the river, swimming, you know. I am excited to see where he ends up. I like the things he goes through in the last half of the book, in the second half of the book a lot. I just found him a little bit it's not even really that he was being annoying as much as the fact that it was so samey. It's more of a book problem. It was very samey because
Yeah.
it's not just Stormfur. We would go Stormfur, and every chapter in the beginning, Stormfur finds one reason to say, get away from my sister, Crowpaw, and one reason to say, I can't have feelings for Squirrelpaw. And then we go to Leafpaw, and Leafpaw finds one reason to say, I can't tell them yet. Like, it's just the back and forth in the first half of the book I felt was very samey. But in the second half of the book, I like the reason that, or I guess I am very excited to see where he ends up, because I'm now questioning who we're gonna start. Are we gonna go back to Brambleclaw? Like,
That's a
or are
good
we gonna get
question, 'cause
another cat?
They've also shown that they're not really afraid of changing perspectives mid-book either. Because
Yeah, we got Feathertail.
When Stormfur is held, quote-unquote, prisoner by the tribe, we swap to Feathertail for a few chapters while they, like, leave the territory and then make their plan to run back in and rescue Stormfur. And then by the end of the book, we get a little bit of Squirrelpaw's perspective, don't we? In the epilogue?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We
I mean, my
we
prediction
go to
for-
Squilp for a bit.
My prediction for the POV for the next book is, what is it, Tawny Pelt?
Tawny Pelt? Oh, that would be cool.
Donipo, that'd be fun. Get some information about what life was like living in ShadowClan for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to get her perspective. But yeah, I really disliked the pacing of this book a lot.
It's
'Cause
weird.
it felt like every perspective change was they'd be like, oh my god, Leafpaw, no! And then cut to the next chapter.
It's exactly,
And it's
every
like,
single chapter was a
it's-
cliffhanger. It was weird.
Yeah, it was just kind of boring after a while. Like, just do the plot.
I definitely felt that as well. I was so ecstatic near the end of the book when we would get multiple Stormfur chapters in a row. I'm like, oh, we're actually following this up right away?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, the
I don't
back
have
half
to go
just felt
deal with
so...
Leafpaw going, who's their dad, for another whole chapter?
That's the question she asks every time that I forgot. I was grasping at it.
Yeah, because she's
fucking-
like, oh, this hot RiverClan medicine cat and her evil brother seem so familiar. Who do they remind me of? And I'm glad that it finally was like, in like the 7th or 8th chapter, she was like, they remind me of Brambleclaw. Could it be that Tiger Star is their father? And then near the end of the book, they finally like actually confirm it. And I'm like, oh, thank God we're not stringing this along for like an entire another book.
I think my problem with the pacing is just how jarring it is from the first half to the second half.
Yeah.
Because, like, it goes from super slow to really fast, and I just don't think that feels nice to read.
It's a little bit like Into the Wild, is what I thought
guess
while
that's
reading
true.
it, where the first like 7 or 8 chapters are just kind of setting the scene, setting the location and the goals
emotional
for the rest of the
stakes.
book, and then the rest of the book moves like crazy, which is exactly how reading Into the Wild felt. I just don't know if we needed like 4 whole chapters of the cats climbing a mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we needed that many chapters of them just hanging out with the tribe.
I liked those, actually. I really liked spending time with the tribe, because I like the way it expands the world building a little bit. The way that these, obviously, you know, a community that develops in a drastically different location would have drastically different traditions, where they have, you know, a separation between guards and hunters because hunting is so much more difficult on the mountains. And they have Sharptooth, the mountain lion, that they have to stay on guard from.
Okay, that's...
And, like, the way that they hunt and maneuver themselves is very cool.
I do have a question about that. Is he actually a mountain lion, or is he just a big-ass cat?
I'm pretty sure it's a mountain lion.
Okay.
He doesn't speak their language, right?
Let me look this up.
Does he? No, he just, like, growls. Which was
Yeah, because
confusing
that
to
I
me.
couldn't tell because I thought they described him as a normal cat. But...
Sharptooth is the name that cats use to refer to mountain lions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Gotcha.
his
I
name's
just
not
thought-
even Sharptooth.
I just thought it was a big Maine Coon that they were losing a fight
No, because
to.
they describe it as being like a lion without a mane.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
They say maybe he lost it for being so evil, which is incredible.
That's very funny.
I'm a sucker for the spending time with the tribe. Like, it definitely is slow, but I'm okay with that because I really do love the world building.
It feels
And
like
there's a
it's
lot of really good
developing.
moments.
It feels like it's developing both a new group of characters that I assume we'll come back to. I doubt that this is the last time we ever see the tribe cats.
I enjoyed the development of the tribe, but what I didn't enjoy was the flip side of, like, Leaf Paw's chapters during that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it felt like nothing was fucking happening.
When you break it
that's
up
Like,
like
I
that,
enjoyed the
biggest
tribe...
issue.
Yeah. I really loved the tribe development, but when you're paired with those chapters, it drags on way longer than I feel like it should.
they could have gotten
like-
all the tribe stuff out at once, and I think it
'Cause,
would have
like-
Yeah.
felt better.
What do we accomplish in the Leaf Paw half of this story? We learn that Mothwing and Hawkfrost are Tiger Star's kids. We learn that Hawkfrost is super evil. We learn that
No,
all
he's
the clans
misguided.
we learn that all the clans are doing bad, which we
Yeah.
kind of already knew, but it's just an escalation. And we learned that cats are going missing because the Two Legs are abducting them.
Well, we don't know that yet, though. We don't learn the Two Legs are abducting them until, like, the last chapter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
true.
how we end the book. But
So, for most of the story, it's like, okay, the Two Legs are coming in, shit sucks, everybody's starving.
it's just kind of checking in with all the various clans, because, like, we go to Shadow Clan at the beginning, and Black Star's like, hey, we don't give a fuck that everything sucks. We don't like you. And they're like, okay, fine, whatever. And they go to Wind Clan because, stupid-ass Mudclaw
Always
keep
Mudclaw's fault.
stealing prey. It's always Mudclaw. You're the
Yeah.
deputy, bro. Grow up about it. Their Tall Star's like, we're not stealing prey. And
We're
River
not
Clan's just like
gonna
doing
steal
fine. It's obviously they're laying the seeds for further conflict to come when the clans ultimately need to unite to make the journey to their new territory, whenever that happens. Assumedly in the next book. But in terms of, like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, tangible story development, there isn't much
Yeah.
in the Leaf
And-
Paw half.
I do love the things that they set up. I'm very excited about them. I think that I thought about this especially on the re-listen because, you know, it's present in the first book of the series, but less so. I really do love their twin tuition. And I think that I hope that it continues to come into play in interesting ways. This is all speculation, but, like, I can imagine, like, in the fifth and sixth, you know, the last books of the series, like, you know, imagine them battling together and they, like, have each other's backs without even having to know it because they can, like, just feel each other's presence. Like, things like that, once they're finally reconnected, I'm very excited to see how they play out. The other thing that I love setting up the Tribe of Rushing Water because I am also expecting we'll probably see more of them. It'd be honestly kind of wild if we didn't. And I also enjoy them setting up I also like the only thing about the Leaf Paw chapters that I'm like, I'm fine with this just because of this is every time we get a little bit of interaction between Leaf Paw and Mothpool, I'm like,
Mothwing.
Mathwing, fuck.
I
Mothpool.
gotta love the hopeless Yuri that's happening here.
I know, it's
I-
like, it's definitely not going to happen, I don't think, but, like, I just enjoy their interaction. It's so nice. The way that their characters interact is so great that I'll put it up with it for at least a little bit longer if I get to see more of that.
I'm very nervous about Mothwing. because
Yeah.
the way that she gets like Hawkfrost off of Sorreltail at the end of this book, because Sorreltail's like chasing a squirrel and it goes over River Clan territory, and Hawkfrost just happens to be there, and he's like, I'm taking you to Leopard Star because you're hunting on our territory. And Mothwing like Two-Face swaps into like evil mode. And then she's like, I was just doing it to get Hawkfrost to let you guys go. And Leafpaw's just like, oh, okay. But I'm like, which one of these is the real Mothwing? Because I am less scared of Hawkfrost now because he's the very obviously evil character, and more afraid of Mothwing because it seems like she's hiding something.
I understand where you're coming from. I felt similarly, but I think that they characterize it more like in relation, in a similar way to how like the Stormfur and Feathertail feel like they don't fit in. Like there's a lot of discussion about like her mom being a rogue and her dad being he's dead, doesn't matter anymore, Tigerclaw. And her dad being Tigerclaw. Like I kind of saw it as like the way that she is seemingly a little untrustworthy is because she doesn't trust anyone, maybe. Like a lot of the things that she does. Go ahead.
I feel like Mothwing is afraid of Hawkfrost.
That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah.
That's what I feel, because like at some point, Leafpaw helps save a drowning River Clan apprentice, and Mothwing is there and doesn't do anything, and then Hawkfrost is like pissed. And she's like, God, he's gonna destroy me. He's gonna go back to the clan and tell everybody how useless I am. Like, I'm never gonna live this down. And I'm like, I just feel like she is deathly afraid of him. Like, it feels like she has like an abusive older sibling that she is tiptoeing around. I don't think she's evil. I think she's just as much of a victim as other people are going to be. Yeah.
You reminded me of that scene. I forgot about that scene. That's a good scene. That is a great scene. It's such good character development for Leafpaw and Mothwing.
The other thing that's going on with Leafpaw in this book is she's being visited by Spotted Leaf from StarClan.
Yeah, several people get sort of like ghostly mentors during this book, and it's a little strange.
It's way more involvement from StarClan than we're used to, because like
finally, right? Like
Firestar would see, or Fireheart before he became leader, because once he becomes leader, anything's on the table. Fireheart before he becomes leader, I think he never sees when he's awake. He never like does Leafpaw see Spotted Leaf when she's awake? She hears her.
No, she just hears her and smells her.
Because Fireheart had that happen once or twice in the... I just remember when Yellowfang died, and he could, like, smell Spotted Leaf's presence, and she, like, spoke to him for a moment about, like, it's okay, she's with us now, we'll guide her to StarClan, stuff like that. But it's never been as frequent as it is in this book with, we have Leafpaw and Spotted Leaf, we have Stormfur and Silverstream near the end of the book, and we also have Feathertail and like the voices in the waterfall, which we can assume are the Tribe of Endless Hunting, which is the Tribe of Rushing Waters version of StarClan.
Yeah, the because it's multiple characters, it feels more frequent, even though this shit was happening to Fireheart all the time. He was one guy, so like we could assume it didn't happen to everybody else. Now it's like StarClan's like, everybody, you get a mentor, you get a mentor.
I think it feels different because Spotted Leaf is directly telling Leafpaw how to do things. Mm-hmm. It's not just like random vague prophecies. She's like, okay, roll him over, push on his tummy, like, here's how to save someone from drowning. It just feels a little different. It feels a bit more pause on than...
It's very pause on. You know, and she sees her for the first time at like the midpoint sharing of Tongues with Mothermouth that they go to, and she says something like, I loved your father maybe more than I should have.
No, you didn't.
I'm glad to see you didn't know that, kid. I'm glad to see that he has a kid becoming a medicine cat. So like there's supposed to be some sort of like relationship there where
you talked to Firepaw like twice.
Yeah, specifically being Firestar's son or daughter, and also being a medicine cat, I think is supposed to be what strengthens their bond so much. But I also just find her characterized Spotted Leaf's characterization in this funny because it's different than usual. Like she's usually so aloof, and now she's like, "You're gonna be my best friend."
She's like, I was in
feels
love
now
with your
like
father, so I'm gonna help you out. And it's like, first of all, no, you weren't. Second of all, is that allowed?
It feels like Spotted Leaf is now the patron saint of the Firestar bloodline.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna
Me
be
when I
like
die
5
and I have to-
generations from now being like, I loved your great 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 grandfather, so now I'm gonna help you fight off evil beavers or whatever's happening in that book.
I wish y'all would let my memory go. I would like to rest, please.
Me when I
wanna
die
go
and I
on
have
to
to haunt
Double Star
the
Clan.
person who had a crush on me's fucking family, and I'm like, oh great.
I die and I'm visiting some random person's kid. I'm like, oh, she was in love with me in high school. This
Some
sucks.
12-year-old had a crush on you 30 years ago and you still have to help out their kids.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And like your lore gets rewritten so you were also in love with them.
I'm like, what we also learn with that like meeting with Spotted Leaf and Mothermouth is the fact that the tribe of Endless Hunting isn't just like a different name for StarClan. It's a whole separate warrior ancestry.
Yeah, it's like specifically
it's very
a
interesting.
second Star Clan that like
Yeah.
our Star Clan knows about, and they're like, we can't meddle with their affairs. They have, the tribe's warrior ancestors are their own, and we can't meddle in what they do. And I'm like, what's happening? This is going crazy.
The Warrior Cats books are no longer a monotheology.
Yeah.
We have a multiple theological beings. I like to think about I was thinking about, I was thinking about while reading, is this supposed to be interpreted more as kind of like how some fantasy series are interpreted, where it's like the dwarves, I'm going to be super generic here, and I'm not going to pull from any specific examples because my brain is fried and I can't. But there might be something like where the dwarves worship the god of the forge, and that's like a real god that exists in the world, but nobody else fucking cares about that god. And the elves worship the god of the forest, and that's a real god. Or is it supposed to be kind of like it's the same heaven but different ancestors? Because wouldn't it be crazy if like you went to heaven and it was like, okay, come hang out with all the people who went to heaven from Illinois.
It would be like if like there was a Catholic heaven and a Protestant heaven and a Mormon
And you could
heaven.
see each other.
And you went to your heaven and the god was like, yeah,
right this way.
Like my coworkers over in Mormon heaven, they do their own thing.
Yeah, you can like look over the gates and see their gates, but like you don't hang out
like
really.
waving at you from across the cloud barrier.
Yeah.
My question is there a kitty pet heaven? Do they go to the dispenser of endless pellets when they die?
They go to human heaven because they're in the human culture.
Oh shoot, they go to regular heaven to live with their 2 legs. Oh, wait, that's actually cute. That's way better than the dispenser of endless pellets.
I was going to say, I'd like to think there'd be a kitty pet heaven, but I like the idea that they just go live with their humans eternally.
Yeah. Why can't living with their humans eternally be their heaven, Most kitty pets seem happy.
Imagine somebody who had a ton of cats in heaven just has like 80 kitty pets. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, I want to get the Warrior series where like an old lovely grandma cat lady has like 25 cats in their giant house that they have because old people all can own houses and young people can't. And they die, and then this is I said I like this idea and I mean it, but it's gonna sound dark. They die, nobody finds their bodies, and like they have to start like a clan of kitty pets in the house or whatever, and they like take over running the house. They're like cooking eggs. And there's like the bedroom upstairs where
the tribe
where
of
she's being
endless chores.
the tribe of endless chores. Yeah, and they're like grandma clan watches over us.
The tribe of tax-paying cats.
Yeah, exactly. And then their antics are like having to convince the mailman that they are still a person so that they don't have to get taken to the pound. Anyway, that's what I want to see.
So, like Weekend at Bernie's, but with an old cat lady.
I'm pretty sure this is a Rick and Morty interdimensional television bit.
I am flattered, I guess. I don't know how to feel about that.
I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm flattered.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about from the Leaf Paw half of this book? Because we can move on to the journeying cats probably, because the majority of what goes on in this book happens with them.
I do want to know what the fuck's going up with the rabbits. Because I don't think they don't really
is
make
it like
clear.
pest
Are they?
control? Is it like
I was like, I believe what they're doing is poisoning the rabbits.
Yeah, but why? Do construction workers working on highways usually fucking do that? That's so evil. The rabbits will run away from the loud
they
sounds
are in
and you
England,
tearing up the
so
earth.
It,
Oh,
it
true.
may
we
not
have to
be
consider that they're more evil than the average person by default.
It may not be intentional. Maybe the rabbits are just eating things that they leave there.
That's
like,
possible. Yeah,
Could
Like,
be,
I
yeah,
guess,
maybe they're like
Could be pesticides or something.
it could be that whatever like exhaust or like byproduct from their construction is poisoning whatever the rabbits' food supply is. And then whatever rabbits
are
eat, no
eating
one
the-
can know.
The rabbits are eating the wet asphalt because it just smells so tasty. Yum, yum,
Yeah.
yum.
And
Warm
then-
like porridge.
The cats are eating the rabbits, and they're like, "Oops, I'm dead
Yeah.
now. Rest in peace,
I was just wondering, like it presupposes so many things. It presupposes that there is something that the rabbits can eat that will kill the rabbits, and that the rabbits are like just hanging around the construction sites, not terrified of the sounds and the people and the changes. Rabbits are like so timid. That's like their whole thing. I would assume that they would be running away. It just makes more sense to me for it to be like, there's no rabbits because they all ran away, than to be like, don't eat the rabbits. The rabbits are full of poison now.
Yeah, but then you couldn't have heartbreaking moments where an old lady dies because she's starving and eats the rabbit anyways.
Yeah.
yeah. Rest
Last
in peace,
meal.
Dappletail.
What do you want for your last
Rest in
meal?
peace.
Poison rabbit. Dappletail's death at the end. I did actually kind of forget about that. In terms
Mostly
of like
because
one
I
of the
kind of
things that-
forgot about Dappletail until she died.
Yeah. But like in terms of one of the important things that happens on Leafpaw's side, I do think that like the way that Firestar's like kind of spiral happens in this book is also kind of interesting actually, where he's not like spiraling the same way that like Blue Star did, but it feels kind of like he's losing control of the clan a little bit, especially towards the end, because things are getting so bad for everybody, and I'm interested to see, specifically, I'm interested to see how it affects like all of the clan's relationship with the journeying cats when they get back, because like everything's so bad. I was like wondering, is Firestar gonna be like welcoming to them, or is he gonna be like, blah, blah,
You
blah, 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 blah.
abandoned us. And
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. You didn't tell us what was going on. You could have warned us.
Yeah.
Even though the cats also didn't know what was going on when they left. Yeah, that could end up... I imagine that'll set up for some early conflict in the next book. Because this book, the epilogue of this book ends with the cats basically returning to their territory. They can see the high stones. They're like, we're almost there.
Yeah. We're almost there. My sister's in a cage.
My sister is being captured. I guess, yeah. Are they going to start their journey to find their new territory next book? Or is the next book going to be all like, we have to rescue the cats who are getting, like, Cloudtail and Brightheart and Mistyfoot that have all been, like, captured by Two Legs, and Leafpaw, that have all been captured by Two Legs.
I mean, they have to save the cats, and obviously the sister twin tuition's gonna come into it. She's gonna be like, I know where my sister is because I can feel my sister.
She's going to go like, that way.
Yeah, exactly. But I am interested to see if like they follow the cats to a new territory. Like if they discover a new territory to live in the next book in the adventure of getting the cats back, or if you guys think that somewhere we've seen already is going to be where they go. Because like that's what I was thinking a lot during this
know.
book. Like I don't think that they're going to be like, let's go live with the tribe.
I mean, yeah, that's my question, because what's the point of making them go all out that way just to be like, hey, you guys need to unite? Like, I feel like it should also be showing them where they should go hunker down next.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
they
I
kind
don't
of
know.
like they kind of in the first one implied that they passed a lot of places where there was like plenty of prey and nothing going on, didn't they? So I'm just wondering if they're just gonna
Yeah.
like go to somewhere near Sundrown Place or something. I don't know. It's difficult and confusing.
Hard to say for now.
I guess I gotta fucking read the next book.
Guess so.
On the Reading the Book podcast.
Yeah.
I thought this was the Cat Puns podcast, but I have to read.
I'm just like combing through the Leafpaw stuff to make sure we haven't missed anything.
Yeah, you know,
I mean, yeah, at the end, she ends up in a 2-leg trap, so and gets taken away.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Top 5 most scary things that could happen to a cat, probably. One of Dustpelt's kits dies.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
Larch
That's kind of
kit.
fucked up. The end of this book is actually like some of the imagery is kind of horrific. Because they describe like Fern Cloud, and they're like, she looks like a fucking cat skeleton because she's eating so little and she's feeding her kits at the same time. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, they're all horribly
These
skinny.
authors hate cats.
It's kind of fucked up.
This Victoria Holmes in her evil laboratory developing new ways to make really sad
cats,
to make the cats even more fucked up and terrible.
I think we should talk about the second half of the book and from Stormfur's perspective, because I think that's where the meat of the story is in this one.
One of the notes that I have about this is nothing important. This is just something I find funny. One of the notes I have about the first bit of this book when they reunite with Purdy is that he says "Great Star Clan."
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I wonder if that's a mistake from the writers and that they forgot that like not all cats would say Great Star Clan, or if that's something he absorbed from the others and they're doing a little bit of cultural exchange.
I like a lot of the funny little expressions that the tribe cats say also. I love that they call them 2Bs. That's kind of silly and fun.
2Bs. What's a 2B?
And when they're trying to describe what a 2B is to our journeying cats, and they're all like, "Oh, it's kind of like an apprentice, like you,
like you, Crowpaw."
And the other guy's like, "You're still a 2B. He says you're way old." And I'm like, why does this kid talk like a kid actually does? That's hilarious. This is written in like 2005 or something.
This is like an elementary schooler seeing like a high schooler being like, "You're so old.
You're way old.
You don't even have a job yet. You're so old."
All the other tribesmen talk so funny.
Yeah. Did you say tribesmen?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the other
cats.
tribesmen. Yeah. Can cats actually take out down a falcon like that too? That's what I was wondering.
I have no idea.
That's fucking insane.
It's crazy.
Dude, cats are crazy. You should not let your house cats out. They'll fucking kill falcons.
Oh yeah, at one
Watch
point,
out.
they go over a waterfall and they end up with the tribe, and the tribe takes them in and takes care of them. And we get to learn so much about like how they operate, and it's I really enjoyed the time spent with the tribe cats actually.
Yeah. The only thing about it is it transfers from Stormfur being like, "Get away from my sister" once a chapter, to being like, "Why are they looking at me like that?" once a chapter. And in typical fashion, we did have a prologue where we were told that a silver cat would come save them. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty easy to tell what's going on, that they think Stormfur is their beloved savior. But I think it's more excusable in this case than usual, because why should they know what the fuck is going on with the tribe cats?
The clan cats don't know about their prophecy, and the tribe cats are also keeping it secret. They're not saying anything about it. They'll say vague stuff like, "He must be the one," and then Stormfur's just like, "The fuck are you guys talking about?"
The one? Yeah, I'm him.
I'm him, bro. Except he doesn't even think that, because he's like, Squirrelpaw belongs with a strong, cool cat like Brambleclaw, not a dumb chud like me.
And in the first Feathertail chapter, Feathertail says they think he's the silver cat meant to save him. I wouldn't really describe him as silver. He's more like gray stripe. And I'm like, can the tribe cats not see then? If you don't think he's silver, why do they think he's silver?
It's dark in the cave. They can't tell.
Yeah, it's always dark. They're always living in wet, dark, these cats.
And they're always covered in mud, so they don't remember what colors look like.
I think that as much as we've kind of... Well, I don't want to speak for you guys, but it seems like we've kind of been implying that this book had some problems for us more so than the others, maybe, with like the bouncing back and forth pacing problems. As much as that's true for me, I do also think that the tribe thinking Stormfur is their chosen one and then keeping him quote unquote prisoner to fulfill this destiny for him and sending the other cats away is kind of like one of my favorite plot points of the entire series so far. It's so different than what we usually get, I feel like, in these books. Like they pull a fucking heist mission to get him back. Like it's such a unique and fun challenge where I was genuinely like, what's gonna happen? Like, they are so far away from home, completely isolated, and they don't understand this culture as much as they think they do. It was really a very effective climactic like plot point or build up to the climax.
I enjoyed it because it kind of felt like they were getting a taste of their own medicine in a way. It's like, okay, now you're swept up into our prophecy that you must fulfill.
Yeah.
And you can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see like a subject of a prophecy sort of pushed into it unwillingly, where like, because Firestar was like the subject of a prophecy, but all of the shit that happened with him, he was like ground zero for it. So
yeah, or he didn't even know it was happening. One of the two.
Yeah, but then like with Stormfur, it becomes this interesting weight of like, whose prophecy is more important, and is it right to ignore these people just because we don't believe in their warrior ancestors?
Yeah, and like, can you blame them for putting themselves first?
Yeah,
and trying
like
to force Stormfur into it.
They are very harsh, but they are also so desperate, because there's a scene when the clan cats come back to rescue Stormfur where Sharptooth like runs through the camp and kills a bunch of cats and carries this one cat off as prey, and it's like really uncomfortable and devastating, and the clan cats just leave. Like, they use the chaos as a distraction to get Stormfur out and go, and then that leads to Stormfur being like, was it right for us to just do that?
Yeah.
After these people spent days, like, taking care of you, feeding you, teaching you their ways.
Yeah.
And then you just abandon them?
And as the reader, seeing how nobody stood a chance against fucking Sharptooth. They could have killed all those cats if they weren't just looking for some food. It puts us in a position where now we're like, okay, so these cats are doomed if they don't get rid of this mountain lion. But also, so like emotionally, I'm like, that's what brings you around to wanting Stormfur to stay and help. But then also I'm like, if he does, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Yeah, what the fuck is Stormfur gonna do against a mountain
Why do they
lion?
think he can do this? Like,
honestly, I thought he was gonna combine his like river clan training with the like tribe hunting training and somehow be able to just like do some sick trick shots on him and take him down.
I thought he was gonna maybe get an eagle to help.
I thought maybe they were gonna like push him off the mountain or something.
Yeah, push him off the mountain, drown him.
I thought they were gonna get an eagle to pick him up. When Squirrelpaw's like, I have a plan. I thought they were gonna lure an eagle to pick up the mountain.
I do really like.
I do want to
that,
see how if a eagle could do that now. I need to look up some videos.
I really like that Squirrelpaw's plan comes from the twintuition of like, at that exact moment, Leafpaw had like stepped in Deathberries.
Yeah.
And Squirrelpaw's suddenly like, I have an idea. It's kind of interesting to see those connections when we're not like directly following Squirrelpaw's perspective.
How do you guys feel about, just generally in stories, in this example too, about when the plan doesn't go as planned versus when it does?
I love it.
I think I'm a little baby. And for some reason, when a plan doesn't go as it's supposed to, I feel less satisfied than when it does. I don't know why. I think it's just like I don't like trials and tribulations. They make me uncomfortable. I want my little fur babies to be happy.
I enjoy it because I feel like there are far too many stories where they're like, okay, we're going to do X, Y, and Z and everything's going to work out perfectly. And it does, and it's like, okay, but there's a lot of things that can happen.
Yeah.
Like, not everything in life can follow a specific formula.
My thing is, whenever I'm watching a movie, reading a book, watching a TV show, anything, and there's a plan laid out, my first instinct is this isn't going to work. Because otherwise, where's the drama? If they lay out what's going to happen and then it just happens, I'm like, okay, I already knew this was going to happen from the plan earlier, so where's the intrigue, where's the drama, where's the tension?
I guess that I should clarify, in like, it rarely goes that way in the stories that I read, but I've been reading, I'll reveal how I spend a lot of my time. I've been reading a lot of the series The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan recently. For anybody listening who knows what that is, it's like a high fantasy series. It's really fantastic. But it's very character-based, as these books are, honestly. So, like, most of what you spend your time doing is hearing what a character thinks, hearing what a character thinks they should do, like, plans in order to make things happen. And then, like, whenever action is happening, it's always, like, very fast, and it's whether or not their plan works. And when a plan works, this series, and I've just been thinking about it a lot because of that, I think the reason that I like when a plan works is because if it's done right and you see the whole planning and it like makes you feel like you know this character's mind and the way they think and what they care about based on their plans, it makes you proud of the character and like it helps you experience their growth along with them, like being able to celebrate something like that working. Although a lot of the times, I guess what I mean to say is my ideal is like they make a plan, it goes pretty well, and then there's like a last foil at the end that they have to deal with,
like
on the fly.
like in The Dangerous Path when they're
Yes.
leading the dogs to the gorge
Exactly.
and it almost works, but then Tiger Star jumps in.
That's my ideal. It's a perfect example, Jaron. That's like how I love because the plan almost working shows that like allows me to feel like, yes, like I'm so proud of these characters and I'm on the edge of the seat with them because I'm from their perspective, so I want this plan to work. Versus, I feel like in this one, it like almost immediately it was like, oh fuck, he's not gonna eat the berries. You know?
Yeah, he just like swipes it out of the way and is like, I don't give a fuck about this
yeah,
rabbit.
it's like almost immediately the plan does not work at all, which makes me feel like retroactively I'm like, well, I guess Squirrelpaw's an idiot. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to think about this. Like,
I'm like, yeah, it's clearly not a great plan. Why would the mountain lion who just followed a trail of blood left by cats eat a random hare in his path instead of just the cave full of cats in front of him
that you left
that are like alive and fresh?
He's just been smelling cat blood, and you're like, well, here's a rabbit instead. Might I offer you a rabbit instead, my sir? A rabbit sommelier.
It feels like someone left a trail of KFC and then put a salad in front of him. And, but the whole KFC is right there.
Yeah, all the chicken breasts and thighs are trying to run away.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely was like, this obviously isn't going to work because I knew something else had to happen. But definitely when they set it up, but then, or they start setting it up, but then like Sharptooth gets there early and they're like, we haven't had time to set everything up. Everyone's still in danger. And that's when Feathertail assumedly hears the whispers of the waterfall. That's something that happens earlier when we're in Feathertail's perspective, is that she like hears voices from the water or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we're supposed to assume as the audience, it's not clear because during this part we're no longer in her POV. It'd be crazy if we were in her POV when she dies. But spoiler, she's about to die. I think we're supposed to assume that she has realized she's actually the chosen cat. I think that the way that she's acting and like the things that we do hear from her perspective in the few chapters before this, I'm pretty sure she understands she's the chosen cat, which really helps ground her motivation in that. She's like, I have to be the one to do this. And not to say she knew she was going to die, but like such a moment of triumph and passion and like heroism and bravery, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, she specifically says, like, she looks at Storm for a while, and then she says, I can hear the voices clearly now. This is for me to do. So, assumedly, where earlier in her perspective, she had, like, heard the voices of the tribe of Endless Hunting, they whispered to her again, and she put it together and ends up, like, jumping on the stalactite and dropping it on Sharptooth, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's a good thing that he's
freaking
dumb.
awesome.
That's like right out of a video game too. You know, hit the thing hanging from the ceiling.
And then she ends up dying of fall damage. Very sad.
Yeah. She made the Minecraft break my legs sound.
It's such a tragic
It genuinely
because again,
is,
you don't
like...
expect one of the main four to die. Also crazy that she's somehow in a Venn diagram of prophecies.
Yeah.
Like
very crazy.
It makes me wonder if there's been some kind of like, if we're going to find out in some prequel book or several books from now that like some member of the tribe of Rushing Water was like an ancestor of Silverstream and
like some shared ancestry,
Crooked Star, and that some River Clan cat was like, well, fucking the cats from the other clans isn't enough. I need to go broader. I need to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Ooh, and they've got water up there. They've got a waterfall.
These
That's
foreign
right,
cats
like
and their strange accents.
They're exotic charms.
Yeah.
This moment is tragic and this ending is horrible, but at the same time, that moment does not feel very satisfying, like narratively. I really thought that like Stormfur was gonna pull through, like fulfill his own destiny, and he's gonna have his own beautiful character arc after feeling out of place for not being a part of the original prophecy and being able to do some good somewhere else for people that he loves and cares about, and that it just wasn't that.
Yeah, it's really strange because, like you're saying, if that had happened, it would have felt way more natural for him to stay, for example, right?
Yeah.
Which is what seems like he kind of, like, they were hinting that he wanted to do that anyway. Like, he's developing this relationship with Brooke, which you didn't even touch on. Brooke seems like such a sweet character. There's a moment that I really love when they take him hostage and she comes to offer him dinner and she's like heartbroken and he's like, you know, denying her attention because
he's like furious.
Upset. And that's like
Yeah.
so realistic and like I can imagine how bad they both feel in that moment so clearly. Like I love their relationship. So if it had played out that way, like I feel like everything would feel a lot cleaner. But on the other hand, there's so many questions now that I am very interested in where things are going to go. Because now the big question for me is like, one of the fucking StarClan prophesized cats is dead. Like, is StarClan going to come to Stormfur? Is Stormfur going to fulfill that role without even having StarClan talk to him? Like, how is he... And we don't even know if he's going to be the protagonist of or the narrator, that is to say, of the next book. But how is he going to fulfill what needs to be done? What is he going to decide to do now that like everything's been shaken to its core?
It'll be very interesting.
Yes.
Definitely sets up a lot of intrigue for the next book.
For sure, yeah. But I can see how as a conclusion there for this book, it definitely feels a little bit hollow. It's just like Stormfur thought he was going to fulfill this responsibility that had been hoisted upon him, only to find out that it wasn't his to begin with. It was never his. And now he feels guilty that he like led his sister to her death.
Currently, it just feels like a death for the sake of it.
Yeah, because he made that choice assuming it was his ass on the line when it really wasn't.
Vicky had to get the quota up.
Yeah.
Vicky needed a fix of a cat death. And especially the reason that it feels like that to me is because, well, I don't know. I don't want to imply that it's bad to build a character up before they die, because I think that's useful, right? Like it's a good way to connect with the tragedy of death is to make you feel like you actually care. And Feathertail and Crowpaw developing their relationship so much in this book is really wonderful to watch. Her death gives Crowpaw a lot of motivation, I feel like, for the next book. Like, I'm sure that he's going to be changed a lot going forward. Like, I'm wondering if he's going to... Go ahead.
Are we going to keep killing off female cats that are in love with male cats so they can be developed?
That's so
true. That's a little fucked up, if I could be honest.
Kill off some male cats that female cats can be stronger.
It's also just like, I don't feel like we really connected to Feathertail that much. Like, I'm a little sad about her death, but I didn't feel that connected to her in this book or the last one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They started the path of connecting a lot to Feathertail, but it was cut out from underneath us before they actually did any real like delving. And because she kind of just fulfilled the role of like, she's so caring and so nice, and she helps Crowpaw be a better cat, but like she didn't have much going for her yet. Like I felt like we were getting that until she died, and that's why it felt a little hollow to me.
It would have been nice if we maybe could have swapped between her and Stormfur's perspectives more throughout the early portions of the book. Like maybe while they're going up the mountain, we don't focus on Stormfur for those entire like 3 chapters from their perspective, but we instead like get 1 or 2 chapters with Feathertail and maybe an additional chapter with her in the tribe, sort of doing her own thing with Crowpaw. Because the few moments we get between her and Crowpaw are really, really sweet. Where like she cracks him open a little bit, and he is actually like a real sweetheart, and he's just putting up airs because he feels like he's the lesser of the group.
And like, that could have done wonders for the pacing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you kill off a main character, I want to cry. I want to sob. I want to feel like my world is ending along with the characters. So it didn't feel like much.
I was definitely shocked, and I was heartbroken for Stormfur, but I didn't cry this time. First time cats died.
Yeah. I
even cried for White Claw. I didn't cry for White Claw. I'm just joking.
White Claw mentioned.
But it's I still think that I'm optimistic that it's going to be put to really good use, in like how it changes Stormfur and I guess Crowpaw too. Yeah, but
I feel like the whole group,
it's still,
because
yeah.
even like Brambleclaw and Squirrelpaw, I'm sure will.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we also spend most of the
I'm
book
going
like with them
insane.
being like, we're all a family now. We couldn't imagine not
Tawny
being
Pelt.
with each other and being
we
a different.
could never leave somebody behind.
Yeah.
I was like, hang on, we've named 5 cats. There's a 6th one somewhere. It's Tawny
Yeah,
Pelt.
Tawny Pelt. Tawny Pelt, our next narrator for sure.
Tawny Pelt,
I
who
hope so.
feels like she isn't really in this book that much.
She just kind of rests.
Yeah,
Got that-
she's
got that rat
injured and she
shoulder.
recovers, and then
That's partially why I hope we focus on her, because I feel like she's a really interesting character, but we haven't had much time to explore.
Yeah, she fucking left ThunderClan as an apprentice. Like that, she's got a crazy history, and she's very like smart, capable, and headstrong. And I also, even just on a meta level, I would be more satisfied if they continued the trend, because I would find it very strange if they just went back to Brambleclaw.
I agree. Yeah.
It'd be like we went to Stormfur for one book.
yeah, I imagine we'll either be going to Tawny Pelt or Crowpaw next book.
My
I think
other
if
prediction-
we could do
okay.
both of those, would be cool.
Yeah, eventually.
I assume
I
that
guess
like
yeah, they could bounce
Leafpaw
back
will
and forth.
still be a part of it.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, honestly, it'd be
Although-
crazy if they just cut off her perspective completely.
Yeah,
That'd be
that
terrifying.
actually would be
That would be
interesting
crazy.
because she's been catnapped. She's been kidnapped.
It's like Ludo narrative in games where the
Yeah.
gameplay matches the narrative. It's the format of the book matches the narrative. There's probably a word for that I don't know about, but like she's been kidnapped, so we don't get to see her perspective
Maybe
anymore.
we start folling fucking Spider-Paw. I don't know.
Spider Paw? Who's Spider Paw? Spider Paw? Spider Paw.
Me when I name
That's one of
another
the
character from ThunderClan. Who the
Princess
fuck
Rift.
is that? No, they don't matter, so I don't blame you for not remember. Spider-Paw
I listened.
is Mousefur's apprentice.
I re-listened. I read the book like 3 months ago or something. I re-listened to the audiobook to freshen myself up, but I have 45 minutes left and I didn't finish the last 45 minutes of the audiobook. So I actually didn't get a refresher on the last like 3 chapters.
Spider-Paw
I
is
remember
a
that.
long-limbed black tom with brown underbelly and amber eyes. I think
He's
that
destined to be a hero.
Spider-Paw, Shrewpaw, no, White Paw is Cloudtail and Brightheart's kit, and I think that they say that White Paw is that she is their only kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know who Spider-Paw and Shrewpaw belong to.
They're just fun. They're just fun guys.
Yeah.
They just
a good question.
appeared.
Yeah, I think we'll probably never. I mean, unless they break the mold and they don't. If we don't get Leaf Paw
Whoa, hang on.
perspective, that would be the only case that we could probably get Squirrel Paw perspective. Because as long as we have Leaf Paw perspective, I think it'd be strange to also have Squirrel Paws.
Guys, there's another
Like consistently, I mean.
there's another character named Spider-Paw, but like with a space in the
Spider-Paws?
middle.
What?
Spider Space Paw.
Spider Space
That's
Paw.
crazy.
In the Warrior Cats
Oh,
books?
Yeah, apparently. Spider-Paw. I'm looking at their warrior name now. I'm spoiling myself. But Spider-Paw is also Dustpelt and Fern Cloud's kit. So I guess they had a litter before the current kits
only-
that are dying.
Wow, this problematic relationship getting busy.
Crazy stuff. Oh wait, there's a bit. Is it in the last book or at the beginning of this book where they're talking about like what could Brambleclaw and Squirrelpaw possibly be doing, and Cloudtail is like, "Oh, Brambleclaw's chasing after Squirrelpaw. Huh? I can't blame him. She's a pretty young she-cat." And I'm like, first of all, she's an apprentice.
You're married.
Second of all, that's your fucking cousin, dog.
That's your cousin and you're married. Like,
Yeah. What's going on with creepy cousin Cloudtail? Being like, yeah, my cousin, she's super hot. I can't blame any guy who's into her. Ooh,
they ran away
Cloudtail.
together.
I understand
honestly,
that he's just like teasing, but it is very much like, hey man, don't say that.
yeah, that is like a cultural
Keep
thing.
saying that.
Cultural thing when like an adult calls like a young person in their family or like circle like attractive as if to imply that other young people would be interested in them is a thing that I think people of our generation are less comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because this is about Wheel of Time again, but like that happens a lot in the Wheel of Time that I'm reading is somebody will be like, you're a pretty young thing, aren't you? Everybody would be happy to. And I'm like, why do they say that? Like, why do people say that?
That's weird.
My other prediction is that Brooke is gonna, the start of the next book, they're gonna be walking away, and Brooke's gonna be like, "Wait, I'm coming with you." That's my
I
prediction.
agree.
From me,
I agree.
I'm coming. It would be really funny if they just like backed up time because they've like already left.
Yeah.
They're like
Well, what I
already
mean is, like,
almost back in their territory.
They like turn around, or they do that thing where they're like, "Somebody's following us," and it's Brooke, and they've been following them the whole time.
Actually, she just packed herself into their little rucksack that they all have.
Yeah, she packed herself into the bindle on Stormfur's back.
Yeah. She actually knows how to talk to the eagles, and she got the eagles to carry her.
Whoa. Why didn't the eagles just carry the cats to Sundrown Place?
So true. I like where we're headed. Things are bad, and I think Warrior Cats is best when there's a lot of bad things going on to handle.
I think Warrior
I'm like,
Cats is
I
best
hope
when
the
cats are
pacing
suffering.
is better.
Yeah, me too.
Because,
I
like,
hope-
honestly, I did not super enjoy reading this book for, like, the first 2/3.
No,
I felt like a 4th grader. I was like, I don't want to read
Totally
Warrior
agree.
Cats.
It took
I don't want
me,
to do
like-
a book report.
it took me like weeks to get through the first handful of chapters, partially because I'm very busy currently, but also because I would read 2 chapters and I'd be like, well, there's both perspectives for a little bit. I guess I'll take a break.
Yeah.
And then I read the rest of the book in the past 2 days.
Not to rag on it too hard, but I definitely was thinking this is the most reading these books has ever felt like a learning to read book. Is the most that I've ever felt like that was reading like the first half of this book. I was like,
Yeah,
I can
'cause,
see
like-
how if I was new to reading, this would be a good way to start to understand how plot works.
Yeah.
I'm like, the last 100 pages felt like every other Warrior Cats book where I didn't want to put it down. But the
Yeah.
first, like, 200, I was like, oh.
Hopefully in the next
We are
book,
getting through this.
where our journeying cats are returning to the forest, our storylines become united again, and we can have maybe separate perspectives on a similar story occurring rather than 2 different perspectives that have to keep reminding us what's going on because they're telling 2 completely different stories.
Yeah.
But still excited. Honestly, is there anything else that we need to talk about?
Honestly,
I don't
we
think
brushed over a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff with, like, you know, some of the tribe cat, like, traditions where they have, like, their pool as opposed to, like, a moonstone. They have this pool where there's, like, a crack in the ceiling, and when the moon shines on the moon pool, I'm just calling it the moon pool. When the moon shines on this pool, I don't think they actually call it that. They call it it's like the Cave of Pointed Stones or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's got this pool where...
It reflects the moonlight all over the cave when the moon shines at the right place. So apparently the thing that causes cat religion is actually the moon itself, and you just need a different type of focal point for it.
Yeah, you just need something that reflects the moonlight. But another interesting thing about the tribe cats is that they don't... their leader is also their healer. So instead of having, like, you know, Firestar and Cinderpelt, who are sort of similar in their relationship with StarClan, they serve different functions in the clan, whereas the tribe is basically run by the tribe of Endless Hunting, and the Stone Teller interprets those signs to make decisions for the entire tribe.
Yeah, fucking Tiger Claw would have loved that position.
I would love that. He could just make shit up. He's like, the tribe told me that we need to kill you. And then he would kill them, and everyone would be like, well, we can't argue with Stone Teller, the teller of the pointed stones.
The tribe told me that we have to kiss right now, so...
They have, like, the division between... We kind of talked about, like, the division between the guards and the hunters that's interesting, whereas,
Also,
like...
it's a role that's assigned by birth.
That
It's not
is true,
something
yeah,
that
they're
they
born
pick.
into it as opposed to, like, training into it. Which I guess, you know, isn't that much different than the clans, because all the clan cats are born and then they train to become warriors because they don't have, like, a separation of roles, but...
There's nothing else to do. There are no
Yeah.
other jobs. There's warrior.
Unless they get injured, then they become medicine cat.
Yeah, injured, or it was warrior, medicine cat, or killed. So
Yeah.
those are the options.
Carried up by birds, dropped into a gorge.
Yeah. But
Torn
the
to
tribe,
shreds by dogs. What have
it's
you.
interesting to think about how this book, so much of the fun of this book is like interactions with the tribe and then like all of the drama with the tribe. And now we're leaving that behind to go do something else next time. So like, I'm interested to see if this truly ends up being like some sort of weird one-off. I doubt it. I like to think that they'll do something more interesting with it than that. Which is to say, I am sure the tribe will come back.
I'm
because
assuming
it would be very
that
strange if they didn't.
a way that they could find a new territory is by going back to the tribe and asking them, like, you guys know the area. Which way should we go? But
Or they might
have
even
to
just
lead
pass back
off-
through on their journey.
Like, they'd have to leave 4 whole clans worth of cats up mountains, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
yeah.
Like,
Eagles get one every like 3 minutes.
yeah.
This huge trail of
No, it's okay.
trail of
Stormfur
cats.
can fight off the eagles because he knows how now.
Bro can even save his sister. I don't know if he can help protect
Wow.
4 clans.
From a
I
fucking
guess that's
mountain lion.
one thing. I think we might have talked about this last episode. I meant to go re-listen and refresh, but now that we've read the second book in the series, do either of you think that they'll actually end up saving the forest? Because like the prophecy says they're gonna lead them away,
I will refrain from answering.
but I don't
I-
really. Go ahead.
I don't think they can save the forest.
Right, it would
It
require
is being
some.
paved over.
It would require real like cat v human stuff that I've been joking about since the beginning, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I also have trouble wrapping my mind around how they're going to do the whole taking the clans away thing, because it's just so strange to me to imagine a series that's like, first series we set up this world, and like all the world building they do in the first series with Mothermouth, Four Trees, like the first like 3 books of the first series are like, every now and again you just get like snake rocks and you get this great description of snake rocks, and it's building this world of the forest, and now they're like, that shit's over, we're gonna make a
They
new
also,
world.
like, they just fought this huge battle against Blood Clan to like
To save the
not
forest.
get chased out of the forest, but now they're getting chased out of the forest by an even greater force that they can't combat. So it does feel a
Just
little bit
interesting.
bad to be like moving into this escalation so quickly after just having
Yeah, I didn't think we would get to leaving the forest till at least like series 5.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that series 2 were swinging for the fences.
Here's what they
I
should
also
have done.
never go ahead.
If Squirrel Paw wasn't stupid, is they could have led Sharptooth back to the forest, let it take out a bunch of 2-legs, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
feed it death berries. Put
Yeah.
death berries in the 2-legs so that Sharptooth
Would've
can
been.
eat them.
I think the last book in the series, they're all going to get their Class C driver's licenses and steal the work trucks.
They're all gonna get forklift certified.
Exactly. And even when I considered like when they might leave the forest, I never imagined they would be like, the forest would be destroyed. I always thought it would be like, it's series 5, a bunch of shit has happened. Now we're following this cat from a different place, and the forest still exists, and they might like visit, right? You know what I mean? That's what I always imagined.
It does
So
make
it's
me
just- it's
sad
just a
to
very
like,
strange turn of
if they're
events.
gonna be leaving the forest, then what about like Princess and Ravenpaw and Barley? Just these characters that we
Yeah.
just may not get to ever check in with again.
Maybe we'll have
Not
like a
much.
Marvel everybody coming through the portals thing, where when they leave, they go gather everybody.
Yeah, they're like, Barley, Ravenpaw, come here. No, we don't want to. We like it here. And they're like, no, we gotta go.
We gotta go because I need you to visit still.
We gotta go because I like you guys.
Damn, you know what I just thought about? Like, they're leaving behind where they buried all of their like friends and family for generations. That's crazy.
Except for
Yeah.
Feathertail.
That's crazy. They're gonna build, the 2-legs are gonna build houses over this, and they're gonna get poltergeist by a cat.
Ancient warrior burial ground.
Ancient, it is. It's an ancient warrior burial ground.
Oh, that's incredible. They're just
God.
gonna hear meowing in the middle of the night.
My ass
kid-
is getting haunted by Tiger Star.
Did they bury
Tiger
Tiger
Star.
Star? What did they do with Tiger Star?
That's a fantastic
Did they
question.
just leave him there? His body's still there.
His body's still
Like,
there,
who wants
unzipped.
to bury? Maybe they took him back to Shadow Clan and buried him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's all the stuff that I'm like thinking about going into the next books. I'm excited. Should we wrap up? I think it's been.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shorter review, but we also just
I
like
didn't feel like there was a lot of substance, to be honest.
Yeah.
didn't really have as much as much to talk about.
I'll take the liberty of saying that this is a shorter episode because we felt like there was less to talk about, and we don't want to waste your time, audience. So, we could just say everything that happened, but we hope that you enjoyed this.
Hey, you know what? Start leaving comments about stuff for us to talk about when we go back and talk about this full series when we're done with it.
Yeah. What in this book did we miss because we weren't paying enough attention that you're like, you can't believe you didn't talk about that? Yell at us.
I can't believe you didn't talk about Sorreltail and Leafpaw. Didn't talk about Leafpaw learning to fish and then getting yelled at by Firestar.
I can't believe you didn't talk about the confrontation with Wing Clan where nothing happens.
Or the confrontation with Night Clan. With Shadow Clan where nothing happens.
Exactly.
I mean, the point of this podcast is to talk about what we think is important and what we like. So if you want to have the full experience of reading the books, you could just read the books.
Yeah.
And you should.
Don't listen to this.
But also, genuinely, if there's something that you want to hear our thoughts on, leave us a comment. And when we get to our...
we will talk about it.
When we get to our retrospective, we'll talk about it.
Which will be in
also
5 months.
We all have ADHD, and sometimes we just forget shit.
Yeah, and
more often than not, we just forget something.
With that, anything to plug, guys?
Okay, I'm primarily a Twitch streamer. You can find me on twitch.tv/alittlebittoasty. And also, I make the only official merchandise we have for the show over on my Etsy, which is at ittybittytoasty.
That should be in the description now as well.
Thank you to the several people who have ordered merch, by the way. That was so awesome to see. My first ever merch order, I got really excited.
Whee!
I sent it to the group chat.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. I know that we're a very small podcast, but genuinely Toasty's merch is very fun. Some really good inside jokes.
I love my little inside jokes. I can't wait to be a part of one someday.
All the inside jokes on the show we play on Jaron.
Yeah. I don't know who is White Claw. You guys keep bringing him up. Who the fuck is that? Like the beer? Like the hard seltzer?
All right, anything to plug, Jaron?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitch. I haven't streamed in a hot minute because I am a full-time college student and my life is crazy. But hopefully over the summer when I have a bit more time, I'll be getting back to that. We have fun whenever it happens. So I'm on Twitch at Jaron D Ratman if you want to follow me there.
And I got nothing to plug. Just, thank you for listening very much. I'm too busy to do anything, so just enjoy your life and listen to our podcast.
We do be kind of busy people who make time once a month to talk about Warrior.
The one warrior.
The one warrior. Stormfur.
Well, thank you for listening. If you want to reach out to us with those questions that we mentioned, we have an email. You can email us at warriorspod, that's PAWD, @gmail.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. That's also warriorspod, PAWD, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. We appreciate you listening, and
if you like this, check out our spin-off podcast where we play Smash or Pass with each other's cousins.
Yeah, heavily inspired by White Claw. No, fuck. Whatever his name is. I hate this. I hate my stupid Baka life.
We can only assume White Claw too, right?
What he's getting up to. Yeah. Well, until next moon.
Until next moon.
Until next moon.